Imagine discovering a truth that's been hidden in plain sight for decades. Donny Osmond, one of America's most beloved entertainers, finally breaks his silence about the one question fans have been asking for years. Why do we never see his wife? What could possibly be behind this mystery that's puzzled the public for so long? In today's video, we're diving deep into Donny Osmond's private world, exploring shocking confessions, untold truths, and emotional moments that reveal a side of him few have ever seen. Was it a secret pact to protect their marriage? Was she avoiding fame? Or hiding something much deeper? As we uncover the truth, you'll see how fame, love, and privacy collided in one of the entertainment world's most fascinating stories. But before we dive in, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Not only does it help us reach more people who love these untold celebrity stories, but it also tells YouTube that this is the kind of quality content worth recommending. Your subscription keeps this channel alive and allows us to continue bringing you the real stories behind Hollywood's biggest names. And don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss a single reveal that the stars don't want you to know about. As we go through this incredible story, pay close attention to the details, because the reasons Donny Osmond kept his wife away from the spotlight are more complex, emotional, and controversial than anyone imagined. From the early days of the Osmonds' fame to the challenges of maintaining a marriage under the public eye, this story will make you rethink everything you thought you knew about celebrity love and loyalty. Some fans claim it was all about image control. Others believe his wife chose silence for her own peace. But the truth, as Donny finally admits, is far more surprising, and it changes everything. Stay with me until the very end, because the final revelation will leave you speechless. I guarantee you've never heard Donny talk like this before. And once you hear what he finally confessed, you'll understand why the mystery of his unseen wife has lasted for decades. So don't click away. Watch all the way through. Hit subscribe, leave a comment telling me what shocked you the most, and let's uncover the truth together. Early life and the rise to fame. Donny Osmond was born on December 9th, 1957, in Ogden, Utah, and from the very beginning, his life seemed destined for the spotlight. Growing up in a large Mormon family with 8 siblings, Donny's childhood was far from ordinary. His parents, George and Olive Osmond, raised their children with strong values of discipline, faith, and unity, but they also recognized their children's incredible musical talent. The Osmond home was always filled with music, laughter, and rehearsals, and it wasn't long before the world would take notice. Donny was only 5 years old when he first stepped into the entertainment world, joining his older brothers Alan, Wayne, Merrill, and Jay as part of the Osmond brothers. His debut came on the Andy Williams Show in the early 1960s, where his sweet face and natural charisma immediately captured America's heart. Even at that young age, he showed remarkable confidence, singing live before millions without missing a note. The Osmond brothers quickly became a national sensation, but Donny stood out as the star attraction. As the group gained more attention, it was Donny's solo performances that truly turned him into a household name. Songs like Sweet and Innocent and Go Away Little Girl made him the ultimate teen idol of the 1970s. Teenage girls across America covered their walls with his posters, screamed his name at concerts, and dreamed of meeting him. He became a symbol of innocence, charm, and good manners, a wholesome contrast to the rebellious rock stars of that era. But behind his iconic smile was a boy who had never known a normal life. While his friends are going to school dances or playing sports, Donny was spending his days on television sets, recording studios, and touring the world. Fame came quickly, and with it, expectations that were almost impossible to live up to. His parents and managers worked tirelessly to protect his image as the perfect boy, and that image became both his greatest blessing and his biggest burden. By the time he was a teenager, Donny was performing on the Donny and Marie show alongside his sister Marie, and the duo's chemistry made them one of the most beloved acts in television history. Their variety show combined humor, music, and family values, but it also demanded an intense work schedule that left little room for rest or privacy. Even as Donny smiled for the cameras, He often felt the weight of pressure to always be cheerful, polite, and flawless. Despite that, he handled fame with grace beyond his years, crediting his faith and family for keeping him grounded. This early chapter of his life was filled with success, fame, and adoration, but it also marked the beginning of a lifelong struggle to balance who he truly was with who the world wanted him to be. Donny Osmond's early rise to fame wasn't just the story of a talented child. It was the beginning of a journey that would shape his identity, challenge his strength, and prepare him for the many highs and lows that awaited him in the spotlight. The shadow of fame and personal struggles. As Donny Osmond's fame skyrocketed, the bright lights that once felt magical began to cast long shadows over his life. After years of being America's sweetheart, the weight of his image, the flawless, polite, smiling boy who could do no wrong, started to feel suffocating. Donny had grown up under the world's gaze, and while millions adored him, very few truly knew him. Behind the perfect smile and charm, there was a young man struggling to figure out who he was beyond the fame. When the teen idol era of the 1970s began to fade, Donny faced one of the hardest transitions of his career. Fans who had once screamed his name moved on to newer artists, and critics started labeling him as outdated and irrelevant. The same clean-cut image that made him famous now worked against him. He became trapped between two worlds, the family-friendly entertainer and the adult artist he wanted to become. That internal battle took a toll on his confidence and mental health. Donny later revealed in interviews that he suffered from severe anxiety and stage fright, something he had hidden for years. He described moments when he'd be about to walk on stage and his heart would race uncontrollably, his hands shaking, terrified of disappointing people. The pressure to be perfect in every performance, every interview, every appearance became unbearable. At one point, his career nearly collapsed. His albums stopped selling, his TV appearances dwindled, and for the first time since childhood, Donny felt invisible. He admitted that during those years, he questioned everything: his talent, his purpose, even his worth. There were times he wanted to walk away from the industry entirely. But what kept him going was his family and his faith. Donny credits his wife Debbie and his deep belief in God for pulling him out of that dark place. He also sought therapy, something he once hesitated to talk about publicly, but later shared to help others understand that even people who seem happy on the outside can be struggling deeply inside. Donny's honesty about mental health made him more relatable to fans who had grown up watching him. He began to realize that his greatest strength wasn't in pretending to be perfect. It was in being real. During the 1980s, he slowly rebuilt his career, embracing his challenges rather than hiding them. He started performing in theater, releasing new music, and connecting with audiences in a more mature and authentic way. The shadow of fame had once nearly destroyed him, but through self-discovery and resilience, he learned how to stand in the spotlight on his own terms. Donny Osmond's personal struggles taught him that fame is temporary, but character is forever. It was a painful, humbling chapter, but one that shaped him into a stronger, more grounded man, someone no longer defined by the expectations of others, but by the courage to be himself. 3. The love story and the mystery of his wife. Among all the chapters of Donny Osmond's life, none is more fascinating, touching, and mysterious than his love story with Debbie Glenn Osmond, the woman who stole his heart and chose to stay in the shadows while he lived in the spotlight. Their story began in the mid-1970s when Donny was just 16 years old, a global superstar adored by millions, and Debbie was a quiet, grounded 15-year-old cheerleader who had no interest in fame. From the moment they met, Donny was captivated by her calmness and authenticity. Unlike the fans who screamed his name, Debbie treated him like a normal person, and that was exactly what he needed. But their young love had to remain a secret, hidden from the public eye and even from the industry that controlled Donny's image. His management feared that revealing a relationship could destroy his career, arguing that fans wouldn't want to fantasize about a teen idol who was taken. For years, they met quietly, away from cameras and tabloids, keeping their connection private while Donny continued performing on stage with a forced smile. When he finally announced their engagement in 1978, the reaction was explosive. Many fans felt betrayed, and the backlash was harsher than anyone expected. Donny revealed later that Debbie received hate mail, some even threatening her life. It was an emotional storm that tested their love, but they refused to give up on each other. They married on May 8, 1978, and from that day forward, Debbie decided to step out of the public eye entirely. While Donny continued performing, she focused on building a home and raising their 5 sons, far from the chaos of Hollywood. This decision became one of the greatest mysteries surrounding Donny Osmond. Why do we never see his wife? For years, fans speculated about it. Some thought she was sick, others imagined marital problems, and a few even believed she didn't exist. But Donny finally addressed the truth in several emotional interviews. He admitted that he had intentionally protected Debbie from the pressures of fame because she never wanted to live that kind of life. "She's my rock," Donny once said, "but she doesn't need the spotlight to prove it." He explained that their relationship worked precisely because it was private, real, and sacred. Debbie didn't need attention, photo shoots, or red carpet events. She just wanted peace, love, and a normal family life. Donny respected that completely and often said it was the best decision they ever made as a couple. Over the decades, their bond only grew stronger, and they became an example of lasting love in an industry known for short-lived relationships. Yet, the mystery around her absence continued to intrigue fans. Every time Donny appeared alone at public events, questions resurfaced, but his calm answers always reflected pride and admiration for the woman who stood by him quietly through fame, failure, and rebirth. He often credits Debbie as the reason he survived the darkest times of his career, calling her his greatest blessing. This love story is not just about romance. It's about devotion, loyalty, and the courage to protect what truly matters. In an age where most celebrities share everything online, Donny and Debbie's choice to keep their relationship private feels almost revolutionary. Their story proves that sometimes the most powerful love stories are the ones lived away from the cameras. And that is the beautiful truth behind the mystery of why we never see Donny Osmond's wife. She has always been there, just not where the world could look. For controversial confessions and emotional revelations. Throughout his long career, Donny Osmond has built a reputation for being one of the most polite, clean-cut, and family-oriented stars in entertainment. But behind that perfect image lies a man who has faced deep personal struggles and made emotional confessions that shocked even his most loyal fans. Over time, Donny began to open up about the hidden battles he had fought silently for years, revealing the heavy, emotional cost of fame. One of his most powerful admissions came when he spoke about the anxiety and fear that haunted him at the height of his career. Although millions saw a confident performer on stage, Donny confessed that behind the scenes he often suffered from crippling stage fright, sometimes so severe that he would feel physically sick before a show. He explained that the pressure to be perfect, to smile, sing flawlessly, and live up to the image of the ideal man was exhausting. For decades, he felt like he was performing not just on stage, but in real life, constantly trying to please everyone around him. In an interview, Donny revealed, "I didn't even know who I was anymore. I had spent my entire life being what everyone else wanted me to be." That statement resonated deeply with fans who had grown up idolizing him, suddenly realizing that the man who brought them joy was quietly struggling with self-identity. Another controversial moment came when Donny discussed how his clean image was seen as a curse in the entertainment industry. During the 1980s, when pop culture shifted toward edgier and more rebellious stars, record labels and producers pressured him to change his persona, to be more provocative, to create scandals, to act less perfect. Donny refused. He told them, "I'd rather lose my career than lose myself." This decision cost him opportunities, but it also earned him respect as someone who stayed true to his values even when it wasn't profitable. In later years, Donny also opened up about the emotional toll that fame took on his family life. He admitted that balancing career and marriage wasn't easy, especially with the constant media attention. However, He credited his wife, Debbie, for grounding him and helping him reconnect with the person he truly was. In a particularly emotional revelation, Donny once shared that during his lowest moments, when his popularity faded and he doubted his worth, Debbie reminded him that he didn't need fame to be valuable, that who he was off stage mattered more than who he was on it. These words changed the way Donny viewed his life and career. Over time, he began speaking more openly about mental health, spirituality, and the dangers of chasing perfection. His honesty about vulnerability made him more human and relatable to fans who once saw him as untouchable. Perhaps his most touching confession came when he said that one of his biggest regrets was spending too many years trying to be Donny Osmond, the brand, the performer, instead of just being Donny, the man. He encouraged others to embrace authenticity, saying, "You can't please everyone, but you can always choose to be real." These emotional and controversial revelations not only redefined his public image, but also gave his story depth and meaning. They showed that behind the fame, the music, and the legendary smile was a man who had known fear, pain, and self-doubt, and who found the courage to admit it. Donny's willingness to share his truth transformed his legacy from that of a teen idol to that of a survivor, someone who faced fame's darkest side and came out stronger, wiser, and more genuine than ever. 5. Legacy, family, and the truth behind the silence. As Donny Osmond's career evolved, so did his perspective on life, love, and legacy. After decades in the relentless spotlight, he came to understand that true success wasn't measured by chart-topping hits or sold-out shows, but by the depth of his relationships, the stability of his family, and the ability to stay true to himself. Today, Donny's life is a testament to resilience, loyalty, and the quiet power of protecting what truly matters. Central to this legacy is his marriage to Debbie Glenn Osmond, a relationship that has now spanned more than 45 years, a remarkable feat in an industry known for fleeting romances. From the beginning, Donny made it clear that his wife's privacy was paramount. Unlike many celebrity couples who share every moment online, Donny and Debbie chose to live largely away from public scrutiny. In interviews, he has repeatedly explained that this decision wasn't about secrecy or shame, but about respect, love, and preserving the peace of their family. Debbie's choice to step away from fame allowed Donny to navigate the pressures of Hollywood without dragging her into the chaos, and it gave their children a sense of normalcy that few star kids experience. Together, they raised 5 sons, instilling in them the same values that had guided Donny since childhood: faith, integrity, humility, and perseverance. Donny often reflects on the lessons of his own upbringing, recognizing that the stability of his household, despite his fame, was crucial in preventing him from losing himself to the pitfalls of celebrity culture. Beyond family, Donny's legacy is also defined by his contributions to music, television, and live performance. From his early days on The Andy Williams Show to the global phenomenon of The Donny and Marie Show, he has influenced generations of entertainers. Yet, even amidst this professional acclaim, Donny's personal choices stand out as his most meaningful achievements. One of the most compelling aspects of his story is the reason behind his wife's absence from the public eye, the very mystery that fans have speculated about for decades. Donny has finally spoken candidly about it, saying that Debbie never sought fame, that her strength was in living a private life, and that her presence behind the scenes was far more valuable than any spotlight could ever offer. "She gave up the spotlight so that I could survive it," he has said, underscoring the mutual respect and love that defines their partnership. This revelation not only satisfies a long-standing curiosity, but also highlights a profound truth. The most powerful relationships are often those lived away from cameras, tabloids, and public opinion. Donny's commitment to privacy, family, and authenticity has allowed him to remain grounded despite decades of fame, proving that personal happiness and professional success can coexist when values guide decisions. His story reminds us that behind every celebrity image is a real person navigating complex emotions, choices, and relationships, and that loyalty, love, and discretion can be far more heroic than any public accolade. Ultimately, Donny Osmond's legacy is not just in the songs he sang or the shows he starred in, but in the life he has built, a life defined by devotion, resilience, and the quiet strength of protecting the ones he loves. In this sense, the mystery of his unseen wife is less about secrecy and more about honoring a bond that has endured the test of time, standing as a testament to what it truly means to live with love, purpose, and integrity. Fascinating life of Donny Osmond. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Your like helps us know that you value this kind of in-depth, behind-the-scenes storytelling, while subscribing ensures you never miss another video exploring the untold truths of celebrities and their personal lives. It also tells YouTube that this content is worth recommending to more people, helping the channel grow and allowing us to keep bringing you exclusive stories, shocking confessions, and mysteries revealed. So go ahead, subscribe, like, and turn on notifications, and join our community of fans who love uncovering the real stories behind the fame.